And now back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for like probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson. Today we're going to be diving into NFC West win totals. We're going to also start predicting who we think are going to win particular awards, a.k.a. we ain't got shit to talk about.
Welcome to July.
The day after, 2 days after the end of the 4th of July weekend, nothing to talk about. Oh, wait, we got betting odds for the offensive player of the year in July. Yeah, put money down on this. We're going to talk about that stuff. We're also going to get to the hack bag at the end of the show. We're starting to get some listeners calling in with some actual questions.
Let's not get too excited. Let's get to the
Can I ask this before we get to those later?
Mhm.
Are they both football related? Is one football related? Is one a dumb bit? Or are they both dumb bits?
Oh, let's see here. Let's see what the listeners could have in store for themselves today. Yeah, one's a bit that I think a listener is trying to get going here, which fine with me. What do I care?
And you said all of our listeners kind of sound the same, which I love. I like that.
I am
Actually,
not.
That might be construed as
I actually just
problematic,
remember what the first one was. We got a lot of stuff going on in the voicemails today. We got a lot of stuff,
but not a lot of football.
No,
Maybe Rack's been calling in and we just don't know it.
I wouldn't be surprised by one of these.
Because, now that I think about it, why didn't we guess that last show that Rack had called in?
I almost don't
based on what he shared with us.
Because I almost don't even want to know right now. I kind of like.
I want to know what he sounds like.
No, I don't. Come on.
Meet him, man.
It's kind of like when you first start seeing people on radio, like pictures of them. You're like, oh, you look like that. It kind of. Whoa. Okay, I guess now I have to picture you speaking to me this whole time, whereas in your head, driving around, it could be whoever talking to you. So the more narrow we get, or the more focused we get on who this dude really is, I don't know.
We've known him for years.
No.
We've known Rack like very.
We've
closely.
been engaged closely with this
no, we have known him well.
for
he
years.
Is a friend.
It could still be you, by the way.
It's obviously not me. He comments during the show. How is that one going to work? Explain that one to me.
I've never gotten a text from you during a show before, or a DM.
You'd see me clacking away over here.
I don't know what you're clacking away at that
Whatever.
iPad.
All right, we do the read.
Well, here we go. Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform. Your number one source for all your sports betting action. You know what you do when you're in the mountains, Joe, with a bunch of dumb soccer fans and they're watching dumb soccer? You bet on dumb soccer and you win some money.
Oh, you actually bet?
If you are in a sticky situation.
Wimbledon? You didn't bet on Wimbledon?
Did not bet Wimbledon. I actually watched somebody lose a $300 Wimbledon. Didn't bet.
$300?
About to win something with the points in the win a point in every set for the first 2 matches. Bets like that, all these props, crazy.
What about the hot dog? Did you bet on the hot dogs?
No, I did not bet on the hot dogs. I was licking wounds by the time the hot dogs were getting eaten. I had plenty of hot dogs. They put Big Boy on the grill.
No. I'm talking about, did you bet on the hot dog eating contest?
No, I did not. I did not. But I'm sure all of the other frivolous contests or any betting lines you could consider are on Bet Online. All the MLB lines. You're not going to miss out on baseball. And if you still have the itch after winning a bunch of cash, head to the Bet Online casino. All the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. Bet Online, the game starts here.
All right. Thank you very much, Sean.
Oh, you're welcome. Feels good to be able to be thanked again. It's nice.
Well, I guess I'm in a good mood. I don't know why I would be. I'm tired and I drove 4 hours this morning.
Punchy. Punchy. I had I think I came in at about 4 hours, 30 minutes. 2 embarrassing.
That's not bad for you.
But
came
2
from much
piss
further
stops
than I did.
2 piss stops is so embarrassing.
And you left 3 hours later.
I left the crib
9:30.
at like 9:30. Yeah.
How did you were like Central Virginia, right?
Western, yeah. So it was, I had to cut across the top.
How did you get here in 4.5 hours?
Like traffic. I'm telling you, these people.
I guess no one's going really north.
No one's going north.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say this: the East Coast this year. Congratulations. I didn't see even going down south a ton of blocked up traffic. People were on it today. If you traveled on the 6th of July, 2025, you might have had a decent time.
I know people aren't here to listen to us talk about traffic. We'll move on in one quick second.
But it never happens.
I got on the road at 6:30. People were hustling ass because the people who get on the road at 6:30 are trying to haul ass. But like it was packed. Like everyone was going 80 miles an hour on the 2-lane highways in Connecticut, but like it was car. There were no open gaps.
I thought Tulane was in Louisiana.
2-lane
highway.
I didn't say it. I didn't slur those
Pardon
two things
me.
together to make it sound like I was talking about the university.
Pardon me.
Eat shit.
Pardon me. I didn't know where you were.
All right, we've got more win totals to get to. Who will win the NFC West? Who will be the best team this upcoming year? The win totals on BetOnline are strangely high for all of these teams. I was quite shocked by how optimistic BetOnline is right now for these teams. So much so, I need to double check the Cardinals win total because now that I'm looking at it after I wrote it down, that does not look right. Rams are at 9.5. Where do you stand?
Rams are over, and they are a clear, smart over, and I will pencil in the Rams over every year with Sean McVay, Jesus Christ, leading that charge. He is an alpha. He proved himself to escalate teams beyond his corny level or needing the get-back coach or all the cameras. He had so many opportunities to be an annoying, young, modern, sleek head coach that doesn't really look football. But he is past that. He builds competent teams. The Rams are always good. They're always deep. They were injured to bits last year, injured bad, and they were still winning ball games. This team healthy. You got another year of good Stafford. Could be great Stafford, but he's too old now. So you could have another good year of good Stafford. Kyrie Williams, dog. They just win games, and they win them well. The Rams over is easy for me. 10 wins for this Rams team. I've fielded conversations in my personal life about people confident the Rams in the NFC Championship game. They're telling me that they could see them just walking right into it. And I'm almost like believing them.
Okay.
They have a real chance to go deep.
Here's my only thing. And I'm glad Ryan tuned in right now for this, right, for me to speak negatively on his Rams team.
Oh, no.
I feel like the Rams are too bipolar of a team to accurately predict if they will hit their win total. Because I feel like the instances where over the course of the last few years, and I know that I'm going off of awful seasons that they had that were aggressively impacted by like serious compounding injuries that built up. But it feels like after they have a really good season, they show up and something goes wrong. And then they're a mess. And we give Sean McVay the benefit of the doubt. No one's like freaking out or panicking. They're just kind of like, man, this season didn't go their way. And we even spent the segment talking about how we thought at the beginning of the year that could even happen for them where the injuries were piling up and things weren't going to go well.
Yeah.
And
it looked rough for them.
Right. And every time, to that point, every time that we show up not having high expectations, Aaron Donald gone, Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, all these young dudes on defense, we're kind of wondering, what the heck do we expect from this team? Everyone thought they were going to be middling and it was going to be a multi-year process for them figuring out their defense. And they were awesome in the playoffs. They were one of the best teams. They were one of the hottest teams to finish the year once everybody got healthy.
Yeah.
And then again, we talked about how we were doom and gloom after the start with the young core and the injuries at the beginning of the year. From a betting perspective, I don't want to touch 10 wins. I don't want to touch it. But I will say from a non-betting perspective, I agree with you. I would safely say that they can win 10 games.
I'll sell you real quick, and I know it's counterproductive for big man talk numbers, but I'm going to do it here. Since Sean McVay has taken over, he's only gone under 10 wins twice. That's since 2017. One of those was a 9-win season. One of those, the collapse, 5-win season when Stafford was injured all year. Back-to-back 10-win seasons.
Okay.
I just am so confident that they get 10 wins. They're good enough to hit that number, and because I spoke it into existence with a pattern and a little bit of data to correlate to my point, it won't happen.
Data.
But no, exactly.
Analytics guru Sean Anderson drops the big data.
I'd go to PFF and charge them for this data. Come on.
Again, I don't disagree with your logic, and I think that it's safe to assume that if there's any team in the NFL, if you didn't even tell me what their win total was, if you just straight up asked me, I'm not going to tell you the number. Do the Rams hit it? Or if I had to pick a team that would blindly hit their win total, it'd be the Rams. It absolutely would be the Rams.
They're so competent. They're in that Buccaneers category with me where they just keep on winning good. They win games that they can compete with anyone.
I just think that 10 is a high number. If we're talking, again, betting perspective win totals in one of the harder, deeper divisions in the NFL. That's where the trickiness comes into play, why I'm a little bit cautious.
I tell you, the NFC West, I am cautious because I've already taken personally at BetOnline a season over of one of these teams.
Oh, have you?
It's actually the team with the highest win total this year.
That'd be being the 49ers?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the 49ers. This is the only win total you've currently placed?
Correct.
Was this a
pre-show
sober placement?
Yes. Starkly sober. Because
what day of the week and what time of day was this? What inspired? Okay, 10.5 is the win total. What inspired this?
Tuesday, 2:30.
This Tuesday.
Heard a shout in the bullpen about, we were just talking NFL, chopping it up with the pals, talk a little football at work. And then heard from a ball knower, the 49ers schedule this year is ridiculously easy. And we hadn't even talked NFC West yet. We haven't gone through it. And I start looking through these games, and I was down on the 49ers this year. I have concerns about McCaffrey's durability this year.
Yeah.
Concerns about Purdy. Ayuk just got paid, just got hurt, and still wants to get paid more. Kittle's a year older, but they have good pieces, and they play some skells this year. You draw the Saints, you might get your over-under because that's an auto win. They get the Jaguars, auto win in my opinion. Giants, auto win in my opinion. No offense, but against the 49ers,
I've said that multiple times. I don't argue that.
I think they could sweep the Cardinals. Who knows what to make of that godless team? They get the Panthers, auto win. Browns, auto win. The Tennessee Titans, another number one pick this year, auto win. The Colts, and then the Bears. They are playing like nobody. Their biggest games, the hardest games, are the Rams, and then you got the Texans. And maybe the Buccaneers can make it.
Seattle twice could.
Seattle
will give you a tough out.
I'm not going to
know. And I don't think it's. Hold on. I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't think it's safe to assume that they sweep the Cardinals.
I wouldn't. I would agree with that. I think the NFC West acts really weird when they play each other. Okay. And when that 4 o'clock window, when you're in that 4 o'clock window and that second game starts on Red Zone, and you're kind of like, okay, here's the next games. Let me check my fantasy, do a little work. Then you come back after halftime and it's all tied and you don't know what the hell is going on out west in football. They get weird, but the 49ers can beat the Cardinals twice and they can easily split with the Seahawks and they could split with the Rams. I love this over actually because they play nobody outside of that.
I forgot to make my because I forgot to make the statement that I made for the AFC North segment, me laughing in the face of probability.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that I think it's pretty safe to assume that all these teams could realistically split with one another. So that should be factored in. But looking at the schedule, they've got one of the easiest strength of schedules. Outside of conference play, the fact that they get the AFC South is one of the luckiest draws that you possibly could have been handed. I like taking the over too, because I think that Shanahan, talking about bipolar teams, staring down the face of adversity, after an awful season last year and a completely frustrating season, he has always been the king of retooling and adapting. I said this after they re-signed Purdy. As much as that it was a huge contract, it was still best for the team, for their long-term future, for them to build something around him. And they kind of did. They kind of built a competitive team through the draft. They had a couple of weird picks, but it feels like that this Rams team is 49ers team is gearing back up. 11 wins is a lot.
It's a lot to say out loud. Don't like saying it out loud. It felt a little weird typing in that, the units when I'm looking at it. I'm like 10.5. All right, 10.5. I locked it in.
God, that does make me feel a little gross.
And this is one of these where
I'll take the over, but it feels gross.
It feels gross, and my gut is telling me that, God, I'm looking at the 49ers window, but I have to throw that out because we're not talking about windows. We're talking about win totals in the regular season.
Talking about doors.
And we keep on. All right.
I'm sorry.
You know what? That's good revenge for the Tulane joke. That's fun. Hey, why is the show called that? You know what? If you ever wondered, you jerks, if you ever wondered, yeah, that's why. You get two for in the first 15.
What were you saying?
It feels nasty doing this with the 49ers because all of the actual, if you were to go pros cons on it, I'm having just as many cons looking at this 49ers team as I am pros. But the 49ers just win stupid, irritating ball games because Shanahan is just smarter than enough of the dunces or the coaches that are just getting started and haven't coached against him yet. Like, he just has a little bit of that leg up to get the stupid wins that 49ers get. This should be an 8-win team because I don't think McCaffrey stays healthy.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, then 11 wins penciled in. But I don't think that happens. But they get it done. And they're one of these freaky teams that gets it done. Like the Steelers, and why we have reverence for the blue chip organizations in the NFL is because historically they get wins. And the 49ers are a part of that crew. Dallas is currently soiling their reputation as the blue chips, even though they're still America's team. But the Steelers and the 49ers just keep on walking into work. Hey, boss, another season? Yeah, 10 wins. Clock it in. Punch it.
Very stray observation. It is getting hot as shit in here,
dude.
Are you getting hot?
I'm a little toasty.
A little,
I don't know. I'm burned. I'm burned.
90,
to hell.
I am too. But we turned the AC off for 15 minutes and it's hot as balls in here.
Well, you got our lights on up top of us also.
They're not. It's not going to generate.
Oh, and we're like the little hot dogs on the roller here with that light above you.
All right. At the end of this segment, I'll turn on the air in my bedroom,
okay,
so that it won't be picked up by the mics, and maybe it'll blow some cold air.
You want me to? I think my air is on my bedroom. I'll open my door up. How about that? If you want to lead in this next team.
No, let's just continue the segment. We will continue the segment. We'll do it after the segment, just for the sake of me not having to cut around us standing up.
Oh, okay.
Or we can, okay, very, very, very abruptly and quickly. Let's very quickly, everybody just take so we don't sweat our balls off during the rest of this show.
Well, AC break?
Yeah, AC break.
30 seconds. Time us.
I am glad that we were on the same page with that. That is insane. Like I've never felt so quickly just so sweaty. That was
I think we manage okay. I think we manage decently.
Sure.
Gets a little warm in here. Today it's hot.
A little extra hot. All right. Cardinals, 8.5 is their win total for this upcoming season. I'm shocked by how high that is. I don't know where that's coming from. They had a pretty good draft. You got Walter Nolan, who's I'm kind of iffy on, expectations for him, what he's going to do in year one. But them getting Will Johnson in the second round was tremendous. Yeah, we kind of talked about those draft classes and recapped them. I feel gross saying over on this. I think here's my bit with them.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there is an unexpectedly good team this year, it is going to be the Cardinals. But I will not take the over at 8.5 because I think a lot of things can go wrong. We still need Marvin Harrison Jr. to step up. How good's the run game? How good's the offensive line? It's been improving.
What are you going to get from Kyler Murray?
What are you going to get?
What is Kyler Murray going to be at quarterback this year for them? The Will Johnson is steal of the draft. Paris Johnson Jr. Watch some of his tape from last year, rookie year. Looked great. Looked athletic. Didn't look overwhelmed by the league. So you have a good left. You have the pieces, but the guy that's supposed to be putting the puzzle together in the backfield, sometimes you don't know whether or not he likes putting it together. You don't know what you're going to get from Kyler Murray. The talent's abundant. His connection with Trey McBride is clear. It's apparent they like throwing the ball and catching it from one another. They're very good. It's a very good battery. But are we sitting here thinking that the Arizona Cardinals are going to pull away in enough games to hit this over? I mean, this is a messy ass team. It's just messy.
It has been. The wheels have fallen off in one way or another. Every year under Gannon, they have not lived up to the hope that he was going to right the ship. And I will say, surprisingly, last year, like their defense was pretty barren, and he got a lot out of a bunch of really no-name guys.
Yeah,
on their defense, like at a number of spots. I think that there's a lot more athleticism. There's a lot more talent. If you can unlock something from those two rookies, then winning 9 football games, and as I said, if they end up being the unexpectedly good team that's going around shocking everybody, I wouldn't be surprised. I think if you had to ask me to provide options for that, I would lead the conversation with the Cardinals. But I am not betting that. I wouldn't touch that. I would say under.
I would go under, and it's frustrating. And this one is, sorry, there's not as much of a polished take here, but the Cardinals are a team that you have to talk out. You have to actually brainstorm about the Cardinals because they check all of the boxes. Wide receiver 1, tight end 1, at times top 15 QB, running back that's on the not shit list. You have left tackle solidified, and you're trying to play the fix the holes in the boat problem on defense with the rookies. And they could be high upside rookies. Defensive leader in Budda Baker. They keep on their draft picks I'm not irritated by when they go through the drafts recently. But why can't they get anything done? I don't think that they have juice. I don't think that they understand how to win yet. It's not a team that I'm taking very seriously, even though I wouldn't be surprised if they had a hot month or if they really started like, oh man, the Cardinals are competent. Well, yeah, we've seen them when they're competent. We've seen when the Cardinals can start rolling, and Trey McBride is having awesome catches on the sideline and touchdown machine, all of it. James Conner's running over defenders, but when it falls off, it gets ugly. And they're not a team that like you fall down 10 for the Cardinals. They don't get back from 10. They just sit and lose, and they continue to get worse. I don't think Kyler's really a crawl back and get it guy, but if he starts hot, he could win a game.
All right, let's close out
Under.
here. Seattle Seahawks, 7.5 is their win total for 2025. God, this might be one of the hardest win total segments that we've done. Because like I don't like that number. 8 wins for the Seahawks. I'm gonna take the over for the Seahawks. I think that Mike McDonald raises the floor significantly for Seattle defensively. And we saw that last year. They were a stout, hard-nosed defensive team, and they have a very underrated defensive roster. Pass rush isn't great, kind of leaves a lot to be desired. DeMarcus Lawrence comes in, but he's old as all hell. I don't think that he's anywhere near the same player that he once was.
Did that news feel like an era ago also? Yeah.
I think they're going to run the ball better after they drafted Zabel. I think their passing offense is going to be a lot more dynamic and a lot less tense because they got rid of DK, brought in Sam Darnold. I'm going to take the over. I think that kind of like the Cardinals, they could be a rising, improving team easily.
I 7.5 line is just enough to make me take the over on this because the Seahawks squeak out wins. Good for the Seattle Seahawks. They do that. But holy hell, I don't know what Sam Darnold is going to do with these guys. If you had a crystal ball, I was looking at it, and we're sitting here saying Sam Darnold, Vikings at 80% capacity. Pencil me in for the 8 wins easy. Happy. Probably would have taken them at 9, would have toiled over 10. But right now, looking at this team, unproven, 8 is as high as I'd go. If it was an 8.5 line, I'd take the under. And I wouldn't like taking the under on that because they're capable of 9. They got dudes on this team. They got really good players on this team, but they do not, I don't know. They didn't do much last year. They didn't make enough noise for me to say, watch out for Seattle.
But they're like a completely new team, though.
Yeah.
They tore down the studs. They stuck with what builds the foundation for them, and they brought in a lot of exciting new faces. Their offensive line gets better. Again, we talked, Sam Darnold comes in. You're hoping that he is going to be activated and can build off of the momentum that he had in Minnesota and all that good shit. You're hoping that that's going to work out. The deficiencies that they had last year, I would argue, are now out the door and allows for them to build off of the success that they had last year.
We wearing looser pants this year in Seattle for the defensive line. Byron
Murphy.
Yeah. Byron Murphy was a guy that I was kind of like, oh, well, he's coming in with some confidence. Let's see what happens. Oh, not a great year. So maybe we'll loosen up the pants and keep the legs fresh.
One of the worst draft day fits I've ever seen. Dude, big guys should not be wearing tight pants like that.
But that's as good as a big guy can look. I've been training for 4 months before the NFL draft. I'm going to throw on my tight pants.
I want to see how heavy he is.
I'd probably, 270, 280? Tough to be 280 in tight pants. Never looks good.
Byron Murphy the second.
Tough to be 380 in loose pants also. What's up for the audience?
He's 306.
Oh.
6 foot 306. So that's a wide
What-
306.
Hey, hold on. I'm getting crushed right now. What are we doing?
What?
I'm getting the Ryan bit put on me by your other guy here. Your
Who?
boy, Blake. I'll answer the question. We're about wrapped up here. Nice question in the chat. You can always, audio only listeners can check us out on YouTube. Hack City
Yes.
on YouTube and leave a comment in the chat. AYS Sports, how many glizzies can Sean eat in one sitting? Over under 7.5. Ooh, here's what we got to determine. Are we eating regular Franks? Are we eating ballpark dogs?
The ones that they do during the hot dog eating contest.
What? Oh, yeah. I clear 8. Yeah. I can eat 8 hot dogs in one sitting.
I was saying that on Friday morning. I think I could do 15.
I was grill master on the 4th.
Okay.
It was a bad grill, a lot of cold spots, a lot of flare ups. They were bad. I did not make good burgers. They shrunk down real bad. But the dogs, I wasn't giving out the bad dogs to people. The ones the Frankenstein dogs, I kept those on a plate for myself. So I had easily 5 in 30 minutes of just half burnt.
I'm jealous.
Just kind of breaking them apart. They're splitting open. I'm giving the other people
Blake,
the nice
I
dogs.
could easily eat 15. I sat in a McDonald's and consumed 7,000 calories. Don't tell me what I can and can't eat. I got a bigger stomach than I look. Sean Anderson watched me eat 70
Oh, I thought we had
boneless.
60.
No, we had 70 boneless chicken wings at Applebee's.
You did put down some nuggets, man. I'll give him that. Blake, I hate to defend him because he does so much weighing of almonds and so many left lids of Greek yogurt in the trash can that you would think, wow, he's eating like a rabbit, like a beta. But when you put him in the arena,
I have to weigh everything because I will eat endlessly.
When you have to put him in the arena and
I
the lights
step
are
up.
on,
I step up. I'm a gamer.
I've seen him step up big time. And I'll say this, kept better pace than me on the chicken wings.
Yeah, you were complaining at the end.
I
was ready to keep going.
Yeah, I was licking my wounds. I'm sorry, I was full of booze. Yeah, I was full.
Soft.
God, I might not eat today. I think I put together
that bad
40,000 calories
Jeez.
Over the weekend. Could have been touching.
Stop it.
Oh, I'm not
You
kidding.
had that much beer?
We finished 3 trash bags full of beer and 3 trash bags full
You're
of food.
implying that you had 10,000 calories a day?
Easily.
No.
Hey, easily.
You don't know how many. You're bad at as someone who counts calories. That's not how many you had.
I could do 10,000 tonight.
You would die.
Oh, come on, please.
If you eat 3,000 calories more in 1 week, more than your maintenance, you gain a pound of fat.
Yeah, why do you think I look the way I do? 1,000 over my maintenance?
You didn't eat. No, 3,000 over your maintenance. You need to consume 3,000 over your maintenance, and your maintenance calories are probably 3,000.
Yeah,
so you need to consume 6,000 in one day to gain a pound of body fat.
It ain't that hard to get to $6,000, buddy.
I think you're overestimating how many calories are in some things.
I think you're underestimating how much garbage I can eat because
How many beers did you have in one day?
18 probably touching 20. Noon to
so that's
tonight.
2,000 calories.
Yeah. 4 meals a day, basically. I'm telling you, it was Lord of the Flies.
No, you were probably closer to like 6. You're probably closer to 6.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, it was a lot. It was indulgence in every single facet this weekend.
Well, get it together.
So I guess the original point here: 8 hot dogs. It don't scare me.
No,
I
want to test this. They do qualifying events for the hot dog eating contest. I looked it up. They do one in DC. You want to go?
That might be our scene,
next
man.
year.
I could do a hot dog. Oh man, now it's coming together.
It's beginning of June.
Oh yeah.
Next
so
June.
It's warmer eating. What? Well, you know what? That's kind of BS. I want the trials to be in like a cold warehouse. That's where I want you to. So you got to really earn it to get to the stage. If you're sitting on a stage eating hot dogs, you might as well just do it there and not go to.
We need to remember this because I think it would make for a fun piece of content in the beginning of June if we went.
How come there has not been another food that is as entertaining to eat in quantity as the hot dog? And I'm not talking about mukbang where you get 3 chicken, fried chicken buckets and you sit there and gorge on those. But for the quantity, we don't see burger eating contests. We're not seeing 4 men against 4 72-ounce steaks. We're seeing hot dogs.
It's a good question.
I'd like to see other foods get thrown in there.
Well, if you watch the broadcast, they talk about all the gross things that these people hold the records for consuming, and it's like deviled eggs. It's pistachios is one. Twinkies is another one.
Do you know we have a connection to Badlands Booker, the lemonade chug master?
How?
We got a connection. We have a teammate that I believe is a nephew of Badlands Booker.
It's not who I think it is.
I think it is. If we want to connect the dots on the last name, I think it is.
Are you just saying that?
I'm not.
He told you that.
He's reposted. He say my uncle does a bunch of crazy shit like that. I'm like, I think I heard him in passing one day. Yeah,
you're talking about the big dude who does the big boot.
Yeah, the big boot. I think I remember walking around. Caden Booker was our teammate, by the way, at Rhode Island. Because it's cool. But I think I remember him talking about his uncle. He was like, yeah, man, my uncle's crazy, man. He's always doing crazy stuff. And then he's like reposting his uncle on Instagram, and it's Badlands Booker. And I'm like, what? That's insane. Like, how do you know?
Really look like him is the only.
But how do you know a guy that knows that guy? Are you kidding?
That's awesome. Can you confirm?
I will try to. I will confirm.
Text him. Like, here's the thing. We just want to know.
But how do I text Book? Hey, man.
Hey, man, I got a really unhinged question. Can you just answer it for me?
Like, I'm a huge fan of your uncle, man. Like, that's not what we talk about. We send each other Young Thug stuff and news and a bunch of Kirk Franklin bits.
All right, let's get to Offensive Player of the Year predictions. Let's be quick on this segment. We're each going to get 2 guys in this segment. We're going to give one favorite, one long shot. Give your take, and then we're going to get to the hack bag because we got some really good hack bag shit that we got to get to today. Who will win Offensive Player of the Year, though? I want to start with the long shots. I want to start with the unexpected names that nobody is prepared for. I hate that Blake is tuned in at the current moment when we're about to name a bunch of freaking LSU guys. It pisses me off.
I do.
My long shot pick, and I'm trying to go with guys overall that I think are going to be the driving force for team success. I didn't want to go with quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like quarterbacks, they get the MVP, and then we see the Offensive Player of the Year lately. Very rarely does the MVP get both. Skill position player. Malik Nabers plus 3,300 odds. Giants wide receiver who had a tremendous first season. I saw so many instances, despite some just gross, awful quarterback play from that Giants team, where Malik Nabers stepped up to the occasion. He very rarely had a bad week last year. And if he improves the way that I think many would hope and anticipate, this is no Odell Beckham Jr. flash in the pan, just a couple of good years and then, get on a boat and then everybody, you don't really get the same excitement out of him anymore.
Nabers isn't going to Cleveland. He's going to LA. He's actually going to get a good second stop.
I think that Nabers is going to be the only positive for the Giants this year. I don't think that they're going to do anything well. And I think that he is going to have to do everything on offense. I think they're going to throw the ball to him as many times as possible.
As they should.
They're going to scheme him as many touches as possible. And I think that at least for most of the season, until Russell Wilson gets benched for that goofball Jackson Dart, I got to show you a video that he posted on TikTok that made me gross.
Hey, they're all
very gross.
All 4 of your quarterbacks are going to be throwing balls to Malik Nabers this year.
I think at the very least, Russell Wilson is going to be able to set him up to succeed better than the goobers from last year that the Giants had that they were trotting out there. So I'm taking Malik Nabers. I think that he could be one of the most unexpected, promising guys to win Offensive Player of the Year.
I should trash this because how's a wide receiver going to be Offensive Player of the Year if the ball is in his catchable range? But when a ball was in his catchable range last season, Malik Nabers made me sit up. I'm not saying stand up, cheer, get nude because he made a catch. I'm saying
you're doing that a lot. Is that what all that noise is during game days?
Look, it gets testy in there.
A lot of slamming.
You don't know how many times. You know how many times we went hashtag nude for Julio? A lot. Right now, I'm kind of keeping it together better.
You better stay in that damn room.
Sean Anderson football parties are a little different. Malik Nabers catches your attention on the screen because he is such a freak. His hang time is nutty. Why would you even think about handing the ball off in the red zone if you have that guy in your team?
Yeah.
Throw it up. Swear to God, we're back in the cycle, 2014 Calvin. Throw it up because all these short DBs that are rangy and sticky and twitchy, they can't stay on him. So, yeah, it's good.
Who you got? Who's yours?
My OPOY, Jaden Daniels. It can't be the MVP season for this dude. I don't think the Commanders are built for the truly dominant run, especially with the looming Philadelphia, but he can be great. He can have a year that exceeds last year and still fall in the MVP votes to Josh Allen or Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert possibly, or Mahomes, that guy. He could fall in that MVP, but we could be looking at such an extraordinary season from Daniels that he would win MVP 2 as the offensive player of the year.
But my only problem with that premise, I would toss out Daniels as like my long shot MVP pick, and I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because he's going to put up nutty stats this year, and I think as we've mentioned, they did a lot better job of setting him up for year 2 than the Texans did. I don't think they went all in like a bunch of nuts and did a bunch of crazy risky moves that are going to blow up in their face. They were pretty tactile about it, and they kept a lot of the important guys. He's going to have a great season this upcoming year. I feel like he's going to win MVP, and he wouldn't win it in the way that you're explaining, because how often has that happened that we've had an MVP and then another quarterback win offensive player of the year? I don't think that's ever happened.
I'm looking at some duels here, I believe. Matt Ryan
was the most
2016
recent.
and OPOY. Mahomes 2018. I think he won the MVP that year. He won OPOY. Since then, it's all been skill players. Michael Thomas, Derrick Henry, Cooper Kupp, Jettas,
This
McCaffrey,
is my whole point.
Barkley. Those guys have all been the best non-quarterback in the league that year. Like we've been nailing the offensive player of the year historically. This year, we got some great dudes. Jamar's great. Jettas is great. Nabers is going to be great. Saquon's a good option. Long shot, though, I think Daniels could do it. I think he could run in enough times where you could start thinking, wow, look how much he contributed to the offense. Because I don't think Brian Robinson or any of the backs that they have or any of the receivers are going to be, we're going to be looking at them like, oh, they really bailed Jaden out there. Or, man, the team around him is so good. It's going to be a one-man death march with Jaden Daniels at the helm. And I think if he does everything for this offense and they make the playoffs, find me a different guy that you'd have over him.
I like how we have all of our windows shut, yet we can still hear the baby yelling out there. I love that. Absolutely love that. They're all shut.
Oh, the top one's open.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ah, damn it.
I got it.
Okay. My favorite pick, though. Is it open?
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you for fixing that. I thought I got that earlier. I don't remember to cut that.
Wonder why it's so warm.
Yeah, we're idiots. My favorite pick, guy that I think is going to lead the discussion and had some of the best odds, Justin Jefferson at plus 1,200. When I looked at the list of past guys to kind of get a sense of like who typically wins it, I thought a lot of Saquon last year when he won the award. He was not only the best player on his team and carried them to the success that they had, he also broke records. He had ridiculous 2,000-yard season. I think that Justin Jefferson this year is going to need to muster like his best career season if this Vikings team wants to get to the playoffs again and go on the run that everyone hoped they were going to last year. I have high hopes for JJ McCarthy. I like JJ McCarthy more than you do. But I think that for first year starting, it's going to be rocky. It's going to be up and down. They're going to need him to make some crazy big late game plays in order for them to win ball games. I don't think it's going to be as smooth of sailing as when they had a veteran back there giving him the football. He will need to step up to the plate and do something nutty, like 1,800, 1,900 yards, potentially 1,900 would be freaking nasty.
He could do it.
But 1,800's on the table. He's good enough to do it. He is, right now, for me, the best receiver in the NFL. And I don't love always going to the running back for this because it's just so unpredictable. But I like Justin Jefferson plus 1,200.
You're not going to see me saying a bad word about Justin Jefferson or what he could do in a season. Every time I even have a thought of this guy might not be that dude, he proves me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Stellar, fine pick, safe pick, and not in a judgy way, but it's a safe pick for Jettas. It was not intended to be as such. Opposed to what you were already leading into my pick with, Saquon Barkley plus 575, the clear odds-on favorite. Massive separation in the betting odds between him and the second player. Barkley is just rolling right back in. He's going right back to the beach. You know, you leave the beach, you come back. Is it going to be different? No, it's the same beach. Ocean's still there. Sand's still there. Ice cream shop's still there. Philly still has the offensive line. They still have the coaches. They still have Barkley in his prime. He's still primed up, man.
Sure.
He got like no use in New York due to injury and due to New York being New York. He's going to hit this ground running. He is going to pick up exactly where he left off, and that is leading the Super Bowl champion team. It's not the Jalen Hurts-led team, and we all know that. Hurts has the quotes. He's got the ice. He's got the stature, the muscles, everything, but it's Saquon's team, and they're going to keep on handing the rock to him when we get in jams, and that's where he takes over. He was a second-half monster last season. Philly was in a lot of tight ones in the first half.
Yeah.
Saquon bailed them out. We're going to continue to see that same arc.
My only problem with this, I don't like betting on running backs that have back-to-back tremendous years.
Yeah.
There is consistently the one looming threat, which is just one injury or like a string of ankle issues or hamstring issues that after you have that big year where you're getting a million touches, you're getting the ball every like 30 touches a game and you're just getting the rock every single time because you're unstoppable and your team just keeps giving you the football. I feel like something's always coming for you. It's always over your shoulder. And I'm not wishing that upon Saquon. I hope that he has another great season. I just think it's so hard in the modern NFL for running backs to have back-to-back historic years because in his career, he has not had back-to-back crazy years.
It'd be hard to replicate. I'm not gonna say it's not. But I don't think he's getting as many touches as he could because he's got a selfish-ass quarterback also that likes running it in at the one.
You hate quarterbacks who like to run.
That's a little fantasy seeping in where you just need it. I just need
Did you have Saquon?
No, I didn't.
So why do you care?
Because I think running backs, I think that running backs in the league today have as much of an opportunity to push the records set by running backs in the era when they were truly dominant. And I don't like watching the big man, the center position, be taken out of basketball, similarly to how the running back scoring touchdowns all the time is getting taken out of football because we can just run it in with our big lumbering ox quarterback. It's a fine strategy technically, and it works, and I could see why people would prefer it because you mix it up, different look, and he's right there. I get all of it. But I don't like the thought that no one is ever going to push LaDainian Tomlinson's 31 touchdown record season when he did it in 16, or Priest Holmes' 29 touchdown season. Like, all of that is basically untouchable right now, even though we have guys that can do it. I think Saquon could do it if they just handed him the ball every time within the 10.
It's a fair point.
And that's only where I come at it with this quarterback.
We almost had that when they got rid of the tush push.
But it's also because the quarterbacks aren't big stiffs anymore. Like you just couldn't have Chad Pennington running it up the middle and doing it. We're getting it's all changing and I don't like it. And I'm going to keep on complaining about it until I can forget about it.
All right, let's get to the hack bag. We'll get to the last topic at the end. From our weekends. All right, we got two great voicemails. This is the hack bag. Call in 201-834-4308. We're starting to pile up on getting more and more callers, and we would love to hear your thoughts. What do we got?
The mail never stops.
This is the hack bag. Hit us on Twitter for questions or call at 201-834-4308.
201-834-4308. Call in. What do we got? First one.
Hey, this is Brad, Buffalo Bills fan.
Okay.
Wondering
Hey, Brad.
was the last time Joe broke an Xbox controller, or if he's taken advantage of that warranty. Anyway, if you want to get back to me, my number is...
This is Jamie. This is definitely Jamie. I thought I was right there. It was a good head fake there with the thing.
You think that's Jamie?
I think that was Jamie because Jamie said that he was going to call in. He DM'd me, said he was gonna leave a voicemail. That sounded kind of like Jamie.
I'm telling you, I'm thinking it's not Jamie. It could be, but I don't think it is. The area code doesn't. I don't think it would be Jamie's area code. I just did a little cross reference, a little quick check. I don't think it's Jamie's area code. Well, thanks, Brad. And if you feel,
thank you, Brad. What was this question?
When's the last time you broke your controller?
Oh, this piece of shit I broke. End of May.
And then have you broken your new one yet? And
I have
able to use the warranty?
I have not use the warranty. I got a year.
Oh,
I got a year. I might wait until the end of the year, and then I might break it at the end of the year.
Scott, you're in on the bet, by the way. We're in on that bet.
Who's Scott?
The listener that I have a bet with about your next broken controller. Just right now on the show, top of mind, we're in on that bet. I know I haven't texted you back.
NCAA's out tomorrow, so that's going to be the catalyst for if the remote breaks or not.
You got a big productive one coming down the pike tomorrow.
I'm going to sleep early, and I'm going to wake up so I can play the game. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m.
I'm gonna be rolling out of bed 8:30, looking like I got hit by a truck. And Joe,
I'll be working by then. I'm not going to.
Joe's going to be in there,
not that unprofessional,
pouring a cup of mud, talking about how he already started his Akron Zips franchise.
No, I'm going to do Road to Glory first because they completely revamped that. Looks nice and fun. All right, what do we got for the second one?
Yep.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Headed to my son's freshman summer baseball game.
Okay.
And
love the
aside
context.
from watching my son play, the next best thing is checking out all the hot moms. So I might wonder what you guys have in common with that, but you're getting kind of old, long in the tooth, a little bit more desperate, especially Sean.
That's true.
Where's your favorite place to go pick up hot moms or check out hot moms?
This has to be a long-time listener. This has to be a longer-time listener.
It could be a new listener just trying to break in. I like him.
That's
well,
true.
I like
but he already knows that you're desperate.
Oh, then he's listening. It's been detailed on this show at length, at nauseum, that there have been some struggles.
Nothing. What
I gotta date this Wednesday.
What's the you did the same girl?
Oh,
new girl. Wait, spill the details.
Ice cream date.
Ice cream date.
Yeah, she had the prompt.
I'm holding back a comment.
Only because
can I make the comment?
There was only. Go ahead.
She 15.
No, Jesus Christ, no.
You said I could.
No, I didn't know that's where you were going. You're a sick puppy. You are
sorry.
Sick puppy.
Sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I just don't know what mid-20-year-old girl wants to do an ice cream
Well,
date.
it was only set up because of the. Well, I'll answer a hot mom's question here briefly, but it was set up because she had a little prompt in her profile. What are you kicking out? Cupcakes, cookies, or ice cream? Whatever.
None.
I'm kicking out cupcakes.
Yeah, cupcakes are overrated.
And she's kicking out cookies. And
bad answer. You're going on a date with this girl.
So I said, you know what? I guess we got to meet in the middle. Get some ice cream together. So it's something we both are keeping in.
Okay.
So it was a little easy. She put it on the tee for me to kind of just hit it.
You'd be a big boy and go get some ice cream.
But I was telling her I'm not getting. I was telling her cupcakes are mid-ass dessert. They're bad. I don't know what a cupcake's ever done for me.
What is she in the city?
I don't know yet. I still got to flesh all that out tonight.
What is that? What?
I don't know exactly where I'm meeting from ice cream, but we're locked in Wednesday.
But you would know where she lives.
I haven't asked all those questions yet.
It says it in her profile.
I don't remember.
Oh. Can you give us any other information?
I'm
sorry for the gross question.
I think I'm going strawberry cone.
So you've that's an awful first date ice cream choice.
Here's the thing. First date ice cream.
Cone?
Here's the problem. Yeah. Thanks for the nice reaction.
Awful first choice. Strawberry?
Here's the thing. Yeah, well, strawberry is my default ice cream flavor. Big fan of the strawberry. Hey, what are you? Cookies and cream coffee? Is that
coffee Oreo, or I get
way to deviate.
Chocolate brownie is the other one, or I just get coffee.
Yeah, I'm not a huge chocolate ice cream need chocolate in my ice cream guy. Like the fruity ice cream. If there's like a rainbow sherbet, I'm getting rainbow sherbet.
You're a big fruit guy.
Huge fruit guy. And I look like a huge fruit as well. Maybe a huge pear or a pineapple with my uncut hair.
That could be interpreted in a different way.
There's a lot of, but here's the thing. I think if you go with a milkshake, you look like a child. If you go like a cup, with a cup, which is preferred, kind of look like a beta. You kind of look soft. So yeah,
also ice cream out of a cup sucks.
Yeah,
it completely takes away from the experience.
If you go cone, it's tricky because
waffle cone.
You're licking the. Yeah, I'm not doing sugar cone bullshit. Waffle cone only.
Yeah, well, I'm on my waffle cone kick right now. There's a really good ice cream spot like around the corner.
Well, tell me it so then I'll make that. Are you useless or what?
I went there when you were somewhere, and I forget where you were, but I went and I got myself a steak, and then I went and walked to the ice cream place. Then I came back here and I played I think I played. That was the night I broke the remote. That was the night that I broke
very
the remote.
nice. So you had a steak, a nice cone, and you
I
destroyed
broke
your
the
own
remote.
property.
Yeah.
Nice. You're the dumbest boy in school.
Thomas's Ice Cream Cafe in Hoboken. I would highly recommend it.
Is
It's all
seating?
fresh.
Am I
I
gonna be
believe
standing up,
outs-
sweating down my back?
No, you
eating
just
ice
go.
cream?
Yeah, you just go for a walk. You're not going to find seating in the city or in
Okay.
Hoboken. It's a couple blocks away. I would go. You should totally go there. Otherwise, Thomas's Ice Cream Cafe. It's like freshly made there.
Thomas's does not sound like an ice cream joint.
I'm telling you, go there. You will. I am an ice cream detailed appreciator. So I will only give you a good shout on ice cream. So this is the spot.
You got to acknowledge though that ice cream places have to be like Pops's or they have to have some type of
Maybe
kitschy
Thomas
name.
is a little more formal.
Thomas sounds like a pervert, and he's running his ice cream shack. And then I'm going to be going in there, and there's going to be a bunch of EDM music bumping.
No, it's
Thomas's Ice Cream.
It is very. It's like it looks like it hasn't been updated in like 20 years.
Oh, okay, we can.
So
get
that usually means it's pretty good ice cream.
So now you got me eating Thomas's cone on a date, and I'm walking around hot ass Hoboken on the pavement, sweating down my ass.
It's gonna be raining on Wednesday.
Rain and ice cream? We're gonna have to pivot.
I don't like the ice cream first date. That's odd.
It's just what I had
That's
to roll
what you
with.
do in high school.
Yeah. Probably
that's why I made my crew joke.
It's also a Wednesday evening date.
Yeah.
It's a little
Go
tricky.
get drinks, pregame the date, and then go get drinks.
Maybe we'll get drinks. Maybe we'll get ice cream after the drinks. How about that?
Okay.
We'll walk in the ice cream melt.
You can get ice cream before the drinks. No, that'd be weird. That'd be a weird flow.
For further rain.
All right,
Watch some of this sweat off my.
To get back to the question, what's the oldest girl or woman that you have hooked up with?
That was not the question.
No. It's part of the question. It's part of it.
The question was about where do you scan for hot moms?
Yeah, this is important part of it. What is the oldest that you have gone?
I think when I was 24, I hooked up with a 29-year-old.
Wow. I didn't know you had that in you.
Just making out and grabbing ass in the streets of DC. It was a long one. Went to Saks. It was a great club. You want a great club in DC, playing some Latin music, some dancers, everyone's having a good time.
29-year-old.
You go to Saks. I met her at but we went to Saks afterwards. She was with some friends. I got in her little. I think she had like a car for the night or a van to go from club to club.
Was it her birthday?
Somebody's birthday. I don't remember. I think I might have ruined her friend's birthday. But
love that.
Yeah, I think 29.
So 5-year difference. Not really mom age. 3-year difference is the highest I've gone.
I'm not scanning for moms, man. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think you're there. I don't think either of us are there. I know that he accused us of, or not accused of. Pointed out that we're getting older. So yeah, you kind of need to. Eventually, you're going to need to start swinging at single moms.
I can't tell.
What?
I've told you the golfing story with the mom. I have, where we were golfing with a husband and a wife. And the mom had just had a kid, and then sometimes when she would go and pick up the ball,
making some noises,
a little noise, and I'd be sitting here like, "Oh, what was that? Is that a moan?" And then I'm like, "Oh, okay." So that was the last time I think I had any interaction with like a hot mom.
The answer to this question, there's two.
I was a loser too.
There's two. It is either country club / golf course, but it's got to be like a nice golf. Actually, no, country club. We can't eat. There's no Muni course that's got hot mom showing up at it. Country club, but you got to know. You got to have a friend, like a friend's dad, who's a member of a nice country club or something like that. Or now we're getting up the age. We might have some friends who might be joining country clubs. So you kind of bank on that. The other, and I've noticed this being from a town. Growing up in a town that had a lot of hot moms, you gotta find the wealthy towns within a 10-mile driving distance, or maybe there's a train ride, and you go to the bars that are in those towns, because there's oftentimes a lot of trophy wives that are, or former trophy wives that are now divorced. That one bar that I took you to when you stayed last year when we came out here to look at apartments, and you stayed at my crib in Millburn. That bar that I took you to.
Thanks for turning the AC on that trip also, man. That was awesome.
The AC didn't work in that. We didn't have AC in that house. But that bar, if we had stayed for like, the whole night instead of coming up to Hoboken, which we should have done, it would have been packed out with hot moms, 50-year-old moms. That would have been the spot.
I'm trying to remember that bar.
It was the one in the train station.
Oh, that one?
Because they all the
I didn't know that one got popping like that.
Yeah, no, the 40 to 60-year-olds get off the train coming back from work because they live in Milburn. They live in Milburn because there's 2 train stations on the train line going into the city.
Yeah.
So it gets popping like that. If you're there at like 9 o'clock, it closes early, but there are a large quantity of moms. So if you ever want to make a trip down there,
I don't know. We're also in a weird spot for this. Everyone's hot up here, except for me. Is hot up here in New York and Hoboken and all that. Hot moms, hot just women. The dudes look good. They're in shape. They're not disrespecting their bodies and have discipline. Yeah. That's what we got going here. So it's like
piqued my interest.
We're kind of here. It's not like I don't know where this call exactly came from. But if you're in Des Moines, it's gonna be a little different than the hot mom situation here in New York.
Yeah, because that was my key
tanning in Central Park.
That's where my key point out is that wherever the most money is usually where the most attractive women are, because they're moving there, and most of them are moving there and then getting into relationships early, getting married very early, and then they end up getting divorced because their husband was at the office a little too late, a couple too many times, and he ended up cheating on her.
Tell you what, I've never seen a hot mom in the bank. Never seen a hot mom in a Hangry Joe's hot chicken. Like, there's a lot of places that they're not going to be. And that's a lot of places that I'm at right now, a.k.a. the bank.
The bank?
Yeah.
Why? I don't know where.
Because I'm getting so much paper, buddy. Always in that bank. Excuse me. Can I have another
fucking
pen,
hack,
please?
man? All right, last thing I want to get to in today's show before we close out. So, I visited my girlfriend this weekend for the 4th. Went up to her parents' house on the Cape. Y'all do your inferring that you feel you need to do.
How many shits did you have in the house, the parents' house? Because I remember last time I visited a girlfriend at their crib, I think I had one a day, and it was in the morning.
No, one of the days I got 2 in.
Oh, wow,
it was a lot of eating. I pointed this out before in the show. They're all Ivy League educated. I, for anyone who has not figured this one out, I am not. I don't think I ever will have the chance to be. Not exactly a savant. Just a big meathead idiot who weighs his food every single day. Okay. That's what we got going on. Yeah. So I've been, when anyone who's been in this situation where you're going, you go on it's technically it was like a family vacation. If you go to there to be a part of it, you're hoping the first couple times that you do this, you're like, I'd really like to impress my girlfriend's parents. I'd like them to think that I'm smart and that I've got a good future and that I've got my shit together. At the very least, that you're just a normal human being and that you've got your shit together.
Yeah.
After going up there 3 times now, 3 years in a row, I've kind of fully concluded that I do not think that they respect me.
What are you going to do, man?
Yeah, well, I think that there's a number of different pieces of evidence that I could pull from, but I think I've got one and I need your opinion on it.
Okay.
So the last night before I leave, I left crack of dawn 6 a.m. this morning. Didn't see anyone on the way out. Just kind of got in.
That's friendly.
But they were. What am I going to go knocking on the door? Hey, I'm leaving.
Tell you what, the guy I drove back with today, he would have done that. He would have been knocking on doors. Thank you so much for letting me stay here. Thank you.
So the intention is to exchange those pleasantries the night before. So we were the night before last night. We were sitting in one of the rooms and we were trying to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, which was
movie.
Not successful. Took us 3 nights in a row trying to watch it. A lot of talking over the movie. So I was trying to watch the movie. I was a little frustrated trying to watch.
They were too good to talk to sit there and watch.
Yeah,
Pirates of the Caribbean. What are we doing?
My girlfriend and her sister hyped up wanting to watch this movie. They're like, we watch it every year, fully thinking that we were going to sit and watch the movie.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear a fucking word watching this movie, and it was bothering me. I'm like, I really just want to watch. I haven't seen this, and I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I just want to sit here and watch this movie. It was the second one too.
Oh yeah, it's the best one. Curse of the Black Pearl. Nobody knows how to watch a goddamn movie anymore. By the way, everyone's on their phones or they're talking or if you're going to do that, put the subtitles on for everyone else. If you're going to be
No, get up and leave.
Nobody knows how to do it, man.
I should have gone up and watched it.
It's a lost
in my
art.
girlfriend's room on my own while they were having catch up time. Sorry, that was mean. I'm not trying to be mean. But so her mom comes in and interacts with her daughters and like, oh, I don't know when I'm going to see you guys next. Like it was a little not over the top like that. I wouldn't go if I go that far, but was just like, oh, I don't know when I'm gonna see you guys next. Well, I'll miss you, like blah blah blah. And it's like the next time they're gonna see him is in a week or like 5 days. Who knows? After she does this, her tone completely changes as she pivots to me and goes, well, Joe, it was great to see you. And she shakes my hand. A mother shakes my hand. She sticks her hand out to shake my hand. Drive safe and may the force be with you. That was what she said to me. Shook my hand. I laughed. I'm like, I don't think that I have ever had a more awkward interaction with friends' mothers hug me. Your mom hugs me every time I see her.
They were trying to speak your language, dummy. That's what
What
they were
does that
trying to
mean?
do. They had a Star Wars reference. They said, oh, he knows how to shake. I can
no.
get that.
But this is kind of my point.
That's crazy. What did the dad say? Or did the dad already expire for the night?
I kind of before that was like really that day I was kind of like they definitely don't, and I was kind of in the camp that I thought that the dad didn't. The dad was much more normal, and after he came in, it was like I think he's just kind of, he's only focused on his own shit, which I respect the hell out of him. Like I don't think he cares.
Yeah, that's fine.
He came in and was just like, oh, Joe, it's great to see you. Make sure you drive safe, and I got up and shook his hand like a normal adult. That interaction was normal.
That's actually
it was great getting to see you.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Interaction with the mom was weird.
Oh,
the handshake. Like, have you ever shook a friend of yours' mom's hand? And, like, didn't even give me a chance to stand up to like give her a hug. Like, I would have totally done that. I was like about to, and
you were in the position. You were kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Before I could even do it, it was like hand extension.
I don't know what that. I think that's. Oh, you still got a lot to prove to this lady because you haven't. Because I think the mom's got to love you. The dad has to tolerate you. The mom's got to really like you because she's gonna have your back because she's grown up. Not just this specifically, but for
general,
familial instances with this. I think dad toleration, mom likes you. That's a good sign because they've been with their kid the whole time, and they're like, okay, I think I kind of know what they can handle or like. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know what the handshake means.
Well, I'm hold on, like backtrack for a second. I'm not asking you to tell me what it means. I'm just telling you to analyze it. Like, that's just an odd thing to do. And her parents are normal. They're not weird people.
I don't think I've ever shaken the hand of a friend's mom. I think it's if I've led with it, it becomes come bring it in, quick hug, and
yes.
That's all it is. Where were you? Were you like deep on the couch, or were you like in a chair?
It was an L-shaped couch. I was sitting on the end.
Oh, so you were like in a power position to get up.
No, but I wasn't like laid back.
Yeah,
because she came over and sat on the couch, talked to her two daughters while I was sitting on the end. So I sat up, paused the movie because no one else paused the movie because everybody kept talking. I paused the movie. I sat there and I was waiting for this interaction to happen.
A guy with barnacles telling his hellish life story, how he's condemned to this boat. and then, oh, hey, sorry, nice to meet you again. Nice to see you. God, I'm gonna watch Black Pearl tonight.
Okay, but you pointed out, you need the. I almost, maybe this is kind of fucked up for me to say this. I kind of come to the conclusion. I don't think I care.
I think eventually you stop. You just stop. It's just like you're your own person now. It's fine.
So, but here are my two thoughts with this. I think one, being in the media and doing what we do for work, I've like this past year the most. I've stopped caring on like 99% of what people think about me. So automatically, I'm automatically in the frame of mind of like I don't care. I only care what the immediate circle thinks of me. And for the most part, if you gave me a negative thought, I'd argue with you about it.
Yeah.
I would argue and tell you why you're wrong for thinking negatively of me. That is how I operate. That's what I've turned into. I no longer get self-conscious.
You think that's how it gets?
Yes.
Oh, no, it's a double down over here on my situation.
But the other part about this, I feel like when you're an adult male and you're like 18 to 24, you're in that pocket, maybe even 25, you are very anxious about making sure parents like you in a relationship. You're just constantly like, oh, I need them to like me. They have to like me, otherwise I'm screwed. But I think that once
because you're still not an adult yet. Like in that age range, you're like, oh, maybe they'll bring me on a vacation or something like that. It's not like I'm just my own person walking in here now. And
right.
It's a situation. You kind of get out of that high schooly mentality after a little bit of like needing to impress. It's like, okay, I'm going to try to be cordial with you. I'll be friendly, respectful, all the things you should be. And if you still don't like me afterwards, then that's where we're at. But it doesn't sound like they don't like you or anything. But it's just like maybe you just don't get that hug. Maybe you're just hugless there. I'll give you a hug.
I don't need a hug.
Come on,
I don't need. No.
Let me give you a hug.
Here, hold on.
Give you a little kiss on the top of the head too.
You better not.
Thanks for visiting.
Okay. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm not upset I didn't get hugged. If she just, while I was sitting down, said it was great to see you, and then just whatever, and then walked out, that would have been more normal than extending a handshake to your daughter's boyfriend she's been dating for almost 4 years.
What if she just gave you a clean ass dap, said thanks for coming, pimp,
and
then just completely
that would have been sick.
Hey, thanks, appreciate it.
Get home safe, slime.
Oh, that'd be better than the hug. I'd be like, whoa, wow, I gotta see what's going on here. I didn't know you guys were built like this.
Maybe I should try dapping her up next time I see her.
I know we have parents listening to this show.
Fucking done.
I know we have parents listening to this show. Please, could we just? I just want a story from somebody that daps up their kids' friends. Just an OG dap. What the reaction? Oh my god!
I don't think that would work. Your dad doesn't seem like he'd
handshake.
Yeah,
but it's one handshake, and then he'll slide right into the dap. He's very familiar with the dap, but
okay.
I don't know. My dad hit the shit out of me when I was at home on Wednesday. I mean, he struck me in the chest good.
Why?
Because he's always tested me. He tested the chest. But this time I told him, don't come over my chest. He still got me. I was pissed.
All right, we got to get out of here. At Joe DeLeone, at Sanderson Radio, at Hack City Pod. No show on Thursday. We'll be live on. Well, we might have something to talk about. Yeah. I hope that we do. I've been prodding Sean. If I gave up my drama, I want to hear this man's drama. 201-834-4308. Call in and give us a voicemail. 2 great voicemails today. We'll talk to you guys later. See you on Tuesday.